live. I know where you live.
That's right.
Hey there, Rebecca.
Oh, also, Steve, I got accepted to the William and Mary University's fellowship for the We Are the Teachers Congress. So I'm one of
Congratulations.
two teachers from Connecticut, so we'll represent Connecticut. Um, but as part of the fellowship, after the fellowship, I have to do some kind of like PD for teachers about 250. So I didn't know if we wanted to maybe do something on here on like Zoom that we can like a webinar or
Absolutely.
like something like that. Because I thought it might be better to try and
Yeah,
get it to more people than just my district. Um,
absolutely. Let's
but
let's when are you going?
so
When?
I go July 26th to the 30th.
Mhm.
So I have like, a brief idea of like what's going on, but they will go into more detail on like what I have to do after. But basically, it's a 3 year, well, I'm just going the first year, but it's a 3 year grant through the National Council for History Education.
Mhm.
And the first year, which is what I'm part of, is like the leading up to the revolution and kind of like the start of it. And then next year, the people who get accepted will focus on revolution and constitution. And then the year after that, those folks will do like where are we now? Kind of thing. So I'm doing kind of all that lead up and the beginning of the revolution. So I'll be able to, they're going to give me a ton of stuff and then I have to like create materials for teachers to use in my state. So I can get a better sense after it of like what
Let's
might be good.
let's talk about that when you get back. How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I'll reach out to you when I get back.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you know who the other teacher is from Connecticut?
I do. I met her on the we had to go to like a orientation Zoom thing.
Mhm.
Um and she's actually a reading specialist from Clinton. She teaches in Clinton at the
Interesting.
high school. Um so I can also like talk with her more like this summer to see if like what she's thinking about doing. Um
I
but yeah,
thought
it's just
these
two
were
teachers
just.
per state.
I thought that those things were for social studies teachers only. No, I guess not.
Well, I think she's like a specialist she's a reading specialist at the high school.
That probably
So,
works with social studies at some
yeah.
level. Yeah,
So she supports both social studies and language arts teachers.
got
So I
it.
think that's how they did it. And then also since she's working with both sides, it could branch out. But yeah, there'll be two teachers per 50 states and we're all living in William and Mary dorms. So
Cool.
shall be interesting, but it'll be fun.
Do they give you a stipend for it
Yeah,
or
they give us a stipend. Some of it is to cover cost to get down there, but then they give us a stipend. They pay for all of our meals. They pay for our lodging. Um, and then there's uh, like a virtual course that's through like their school's platform that I have to do like before I go. Um, and I mean, it looks pretty good. It's on civil discourse and like civic education. So it
it's
seems like kind of pretty good.
Congrats, Daniel. That sounds cool. Hi, it's me. It's
Thanks.
Allison.
Thanks,
Hey,
Allison.
you're welcome. Sorry, I'm in the car. I just got out of a doctor's appointment, so I'll be camera off, but I'm here.
I dropped the agenda in the chat for folks. Wow. If you want to kick it off, Steve, I think we've got a good number of folks here.
yeah. And now just to kick it off, and then Bilal, I'll kick it to you. That we've done. We didn't know at the beginning of the year we'd be able to get done, but I'm proud of the presentations we've made at various conferences. I'm proud of the Ken Burns preview that we gave for teachers. We're doing a webinar series right now with CCSS. And so I think we've done some good stuff this year. How about you, Bilal?
Not a lot to add to that. Just happy that this is moving, along. I've been receiving the email of the long list of things going on in the state, so that's a good thing that things are happening, that people are taking it serious. I'm working on something for the fall here at my campus, so we'll see. That's it for me.
So take it away, Cindy. Go ahead. You got it.
Alrighty then.
And/or Rachel. And/or Misa. And/or who?
So I will start with, sorry, just sharing my screen. My computer hates me today. So we have been working to get the names of students who have been doing local history projects here in the state. And so we've got this certificate that we will be presenting them with. It'll be signed by Denise Merrill, Chair of the Commission, and by the governor. So at this point, we've gotten at least 100 students. I haven't done a final count. But we should be able to get these taken care of next week, signed, sent out to folks. So we are very grateful to all of you for having the idea and for helping to publicize this program. We are planning to run it again in the fall semester for students and teachers. We think that this summer, with everything happening all over the state, there will be more excitement around the 250th. So we'll encourage teachers, students, educators to continue working on local history projects and continue reaching out and sharing the names of students that have done so. So I think that is the reminder for the local history project. We can get some more materials to you all. I'm curious, did you all feel like you had the right materials to share this out with other teachers and to get the word out? Is there something we could have done differently?
I adapted it, like I took that and I adapted it just for Bristol because we were working with the Bristol 250th Commission. And we directly kind of like aligned it to like like our citywide curriculum. And like that really seemed to help. I kind of came up with it and showed it to my curriculum coordinator. He, tweaked it a little bit and then was like, I think this looks great. So I know in my district, like 4 teachers did it. So that's where like all the names from Bristol are coming because I think we sent you like 80 names. And so that was like the big thing, is to try and get like other people involved so that if like it's not just one teacher doing it, it's multiple. But even within my district, there's 7 8th grade social studies teachers, and only 4 of the 7 did it. So, that's still more than half, which was pretty good. And then everybody had like the same rubric that we were going to use, like just internally, based on our stuff. So I can send that to you to show you if like you need examples or whatnot.
Yeah, sure, we can share it out. I think that might be helpful for some teachers. Awesome. And then Steve, I know you mentioned briefly your upcoming webinars. I know we had saved some space here if you wanted to share more detailed information,
Or
and invite others.
how about, yeah, they're done with sort of a combination of the history of the 250 and sort of reflections on today as well. And that's going to be, we're going to have 4 altogether, and that's going to be the focus of all 4. So I'll tell you what, when they get edited, I'll send them your way and you can post them.
Hey,
or
yeah.
whoever has that distinguished responsibility can post them. And we'll send them over. We've got 2 recorded and 2 still to record.
Sounds good.
And with Danielle, probably another one we could get in the late summer or fall. It's funny that teachers, just like you said, Cindy, at several meetings, that a lot of people got revved up when they realized, hey, we're 2 months from July 4th. It's the same way with a lot of educators. That once they got to the thing, wow, it's only a month away or whatever. That's when they finally started. But that was your experience as well, as you told several times.
Yeah, exactly. Rebecca, I saw your hand.
Yes, I wanted to just mention this in case I have to skedaddle and do after school pickup with my daughter, but we're working on some flyers and information, but we're going to be working, excuse me, with Mount Vernon 250 and hosting a educator workshop for educators K through 12 here at the Old State House on September the 22nd, this coming fall, which is the anniversary of Washington and Rochambeau meeting on the grounds of what is now our building. So that's something that's going to be coming up, and we'll share that as we kind of get that material ready to go. But hoping that the kind of growing excitement will, we want to get information out before the end of the school year to get people signed up, but hoping that that energy will translate to some folks signing up.
And the question that I have that probably nobody right now knows the answer to is, after July 4th, will 250 energy continue? I mean, that's the question that'll be interesting to see.
I can tell you that at least in Connecticut, a good number of municipalities are doing their like big 250th events in the fall, rather than in the summer. Less competition, better weather, so on and so forth. So I think, at least in some places, we'll see the excitement continue.
Right.
There's a lot of 250th stuff tied with back to school and fall fairs and things.
Steve, I wonder too if there's like an opportunity in the fall, because it's election season, to incorporate more civics education and educators in on the 250 instead of just purely the US history side of things. I don't know if that's too hot of a topic, but there may be something there.
Agree.
Kathy, I think, has a hand up.
Sorry, I was wondering if you guys knew about this program called Generation Citizen. It says it's hosting their first inaugural Connecticut Civics Day, an annual celebration of civic engagement on May 20th.
Yeah, I do know something about that. Generation Citizen created this project, this program. It's very similar to what we are the affiliate for, Project Citizen, which comes out of the Center for Civic Engagement. So yes, they have been working on different states and such. I'm so sorry. I have allergies, so I keep coughing in everyone's ear. I've signed up to see kind of what it's all about. But I think what they try to do is a model of partnering and getting funding to do civic programs.
Because they asked me to participate in this May 20th thing. They asked me today, which seems kind of late. Yeah, but I didn't know if this was something that had any America 250 affiliation or what anybody thought about it. Rebecca, do you have an opinion? Is this a good thing or suspicious thing or?
Well, I'm going to say I'm a biased source because I haven't been involved with the center for a long time. We're fairly new, but I think that the center's been doing Project Citizen for a number of years. And so I think what Generation Citizen has kind of created a very similar program. I don't think they're bad, or
Okay,
I
okay.
really am kind of at the point of like, to be honest, post state contest exhaustion. So it's hard for me to form sentences right now.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
But so I'm also kind of in the phase of like wanting to learn more as well. So I've signed up to participate because I want to learn more about what they're doing. But we've worked, they came to our awards here at the old State House and stuff. So
Okay,
Sally probably, excuse me, would be more knowledgeable than I am. I'm just coming at it from kind of very programmatic lenses.
okay. Well, thank you.
That's Generation Citizen or Civics? Which one is it?
It's
Citizen?
called, yeah, so I have to look at the email. It's called Generation Citizen.
Okay, Citizen. Okay. All right. Yeah.
And I'm happy to forward this email to you, Bill, if you're interested.
Yeah, I just found their website. I was just wanting to make sure because at first I typed civics and there was one thing, and then there's a Generation Citizen, and I felt like when I heard Rebecca say it, that's what, yeah.
Yeah, and
So
yeah, they've got
yeah.
Connecticut Civics Day, and that's May 20th, and they're looking for community advisors.
Mm.
So I didn't know, I didn't know anything about it, but when Danielle brought up civics, I thought I should, mention this.
Unfortunately, I'm not sure that they've had a lot of publicity. So I think May 20th is going to come pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's hard.
Can I ask a, let me make sure I'm not on. Can I ask a really quick question? This is sort of going back to the local history project. So this is going to start up again in the fall. You were saying, is there a sense that there were things that we spent some time thinking about how we can get even more people brought into it, given what was said about that the fall will probably see a lot of continuous sort of activity and people may kick it up a little bit post the 4th of July. Seems like to expand that out as much as possible. I just don't know how many people were involved, but if there were a way of sort of thinking about how to expand it out even more to get more people involved, then it would be a great thing.
I mean, I think we would love to get it out to more districts. Like I said, we had a fair number of students. But I think it could have been a lot bigger. There are a lot more social studies teachers than what we've heard from. So we welcome any ideas for ways to get it out more broadly.
Well, you could, Connecticut Explored has both the free newsletter that goes out to about 5,500 people, the podcast that reaches about 1,000 people a month, and then of course the magazine. The summer issue is done, but the fall issue would have room for, just a 1 6-page advertisement or something like that, or even a short column that you could put in.
And if you send me something, I'd be happy to send it out to History Day folks to teach.
Awesome. And so from there, just a quick update on some of the national programs. America's Field Trip, the 2026 contest has closed. They are going to be announcing winners in early June, and I've heard that there will be a winner from every state. So I'm not sure if that's true, but fingers crossed that we have some winners from Connecticut this year. I do know that at least one of the judges is from Connecticut. We heard from a teacher at the Hartford Public Schools that is judging America's Field Trip. And we've also heard from the National Commission that the program will be brought back in 2027. They've seen it as one of their most successful programs and are have dollars on board to keep it running in 2027. So that should be a great opportunity for students. And then just a reminder that My America is a program that we've signed on with for the Connecticut Commission, and that is providing students with fabric squares that they can use to talk to respond to a question about, I believe it's what does America mean to you? And then they'll be creating that big giant flag up in Boston and traveling it around beginning awesome. Beginning, I believe, in December. So just a reminder that those national programs are on board. And if you have questions, feel free to reach out. But I'm glad to hear, Danielle, that it was a good experience for your classroom. And so the last major thing that we wanted to cover during this meeting is to share that we will have a host of new materials coming out from the commission. One will be a series of 36 to 38 posters that feature Connecticut objects. And those have been a project done by Andy Horowitz, the Connecticut State Historian. I will share one just so you can imagine what they look like. Giving it a second to get up on the screen. But so they are objects from primarily Connecticut collections, though some are from other places in the United States that tell Connecticut stories. We are excited that these will be at rest areas and other locations that the Department of Transportation manages. So these will be out and about this summer, particularly as folks are driving up and down 95 with the World Cup games and everything else that's going on. These will be a good way to draw attention to some Connecticut stories. So these will be published both in print, and we'll have them available online as well so people can see what they are and learn about them. We will also be sharing the statewide exhibition by the end of next week. So we are excited to be moving that project forward, and it really focuses on the story of Connecticut during the American Revolution, focusing on what our contributions were to the greater effort and what the legacy of that is in Connecticut today. So we are excited. We'll be sharing out images of that after May 12th. And then there will also be a passport with 40 sites around the state that are connected to Connecticut, the four themes, and the work that we've been doing around the 250th. So I think in general, we were hoping to get a sense of given the increased attention on the 250th and the increased kind of content that we'll have, what additional resources we think will be needed by teachers for fall of 2026. And Rebecca, it is a 5-panel, like those stand-up banners. So it's going to be 5 of those that can travel around. And there will be the plans for, or the template for a 6th banner if folks want to create their own to add on for any period. And we anticipate that it'll be different places around the state for 2 to 3 weeks at a time. We'll also have, I'll say that we'll have the files available online as well if people want to download them and print their own that they want for more than that 2 to 3 week period. But we'll be traveling it around the state. But I think getting an understanding of what we might want to work on over the course of the next few months and have ready for the new school year. Yeah, I'll leave it there.
Cindy, can you just talk briefly about the events of July 4th?
Yeah, of course. So on July 4th, there are going to be events all over the state. The commission is primarily partnering with the city of Hartford and Hartford Bonanza to do a series of events in Hartford on the 4th of July. The day will start off at 9 a.m. with a ceremony in the Hall of Flags. That will be led by the Connecticut Veterans, which is made up of the Veterans of Foreign Wars and the American Legion here in Connecticut. They lead the Hall of Flags ceremony every year. After that, we will be processing from the Capitol across the street to the Connecticut State Library. We will have 169 representatives from all of Connecticut's municipalities. There at the Capitol, there will be a recommitment document that they all sign on to, which will be a recommitment to the ideals of the Declaration of Independence. And then once we've gotten over to the State Library on the stairs, we'll have a reading of the preamble of the Declaration of Independence and a reading of the recommitment document. Some words from our dignitaries to kind of kick off the 4th of July and our Independence Day festivities here in Connecticut, and then a ribbon cutting for Connecticut's Revolution, an exhibit over at the Museum of Connecticut History that is covering kind of the 250th story here in Connecticut. From there, folks are invited over to Bushnell Park, where there will be music, food trucks, and a variety of different areas where people can learn more from municipalities and affiliates. There will be a veteran zone tent for folks. There will also be a civic marketplace where people can learn about different civic resources in the area. And that the festivities over at Bushnell Park will go from noon until 10 p.m. with fireworks at 9:30 over the Capitol, wrapping up right around 10 p.m. There will also be at 2 p.m. a bell ringing throughout the city. So the music and things in Bushnell Park will pause to hear the bells ringing out. And that will be an initiative that folks will be able to hear kind of throughout Connecticut and throughout the nation. From a national perspective, the National America 250 Commission will be hosting what they're calling America's Block Party, and they'll be doing live streams all over the country. We've shared with them a few different events here in Connecticut. We're not sure where they'll be filming yet, but it'll be their primary event is going to be taking place in Los Angeles, but similar to like New Year's Eve, where you see shots of celebrations from around the world, they'll have shots of celebrations from around the country going on all day. And I can't remember, to be honest, what national news organization, but I'm fairly certain it's either CBS or NBC. So all of that will be going on the 4th of July, in addition to the normal parades, festivities, and such that are going on in other places. So we are excited. It's going to be a busy day. But really a full day of celebrations and commemorations and marking the moment.
I'm impressed if you remembered all that and just, based on memory, you threw out a lot of, but if you were reading it, that was fine. That was fine.
No, it is solidly in there. It comes back in my dreams. Got into that point of the year. Yeah, you folks have any other questions, comments, ideas?
Well, I'll jump in. A little self-promotion. The Connecticut Explored summer magazine is, going to print soon. And it's 84 pages and it's a commemorative issue. And we followed the themes, set out by the commission. So each page of the issue will have, kind of what theme this article belongs to. Hopefully that'll be kind of a help for teachers or people who are using it for, educational purposes. It probably won't mean much to the average reader. But although in my, when I write the sort of preamble, the Hog River Journal column, I say we're using the 4 themes of the commission and whatnot. So so I hope everybody gets a copy of that. And I have to say that I had hoped to procure some money to give schools copies of the issue, but in part because of health reasons, I did not get that done. But I'm certainly, we always print more than we have subscribers, so I may be able to do that if there are schools that want copies.
Anyone have anything else?
Yes.
Cindy, it sounds like we're good.
I think so. Go enjoy the wonderful weather.
Take care.
So take care.